How is everyone doing? I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV, and welcome to the match review of our 5-0 win against Dynamo Kyiv, who look more like Chicken Kyiv tonight. You guys, in tonight's match review, I'm going to be talking about RUBEN, Hudson-Odoi, the Europa League king himself, Olivier Giroud, plus some other observations from the game as well. But before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. Thank you to everyone that helped support me by going to the link in the description below and downloading the app. Everyone keeps saying every single time it's the convenience of the app that they really like. Get your news, fixture list news, lineup news, any stats information you need. You can get everything through alerts from OneFootball's alert feature. All you have to do is follow a club or player of your choice. It's as simple as that. If you want it, in the link in the description below is going to be a link to the OneFootball app. But anyway, getting straight into things, starting briefly with the lineup. And it was good to see RUBEN starting. It was good to see Hudson-Odoi starting. It was actually good to see Alonso starting as well, because it tells us that it seems like Emerson is going to be the go-to guy for the first team games in the Premier League. So that is good to see. Christensen came back as well, and Jorginho was rested to play cover in the Regista role. And let's be serious, 4 minutes into the game, the tie was effectively over. I mean, it was already over in the first leg, let's be serious, but Olivier Giroud, who was on point today, missed the Europa League himself to get a hat-trick tonight. And I saw his performance, I saw the desire. Now you have to realise it's Dynamo Kyiv, we've already won the game already. He didn't have to run as hard as he did. He didn't have to close down his man as much as he did. He started the press extremely well, worked hard, his movement in the final third as well. The Dynamo Kyiv players really couldn't keep to grips with Giroud. He was too strong, he was too smart, and he really deserved his hat-trick. He caused so many issues, his link-up play as well. Of course, I think it helps that when Giroud plays in Europe, you know, players don't necessarily mark him as tight or as aggressively as in the Premier League, so that does help a bit. He does have a bit more space to play in as well, but at the same time, his execution tonight was on point, thoroughly deserved his hat-trick, some very good finishes, scoring goals with his head as well. And it was a performance where Giroud wants Sarri to really consider him, take him seriously. He wants to be the first choice striker playing for us. And we're in a very good situation right now, where we have two hungry strikers that want to succeed, that want to play. It's a good position to be in. And let's see and let's hope that Giroud continues his form. Let's hope that Sarri starts to consider him a bit more. Honestly, you guys know my thoughts and opinions on Giroud as a player. But if you're going to perform well and do your thing, you earn my respect, and I think that you do deserve to get other opportunities playing in the league. I want to talk about Dynamo Kyiv briefly as well, and they were really poor, really terrible. I think the only good spell they had throughout this entire game was the first 10 to 15 minutes of the second half, but they're a team that had no game plan. I didn't understand what I was seeing from Dynamo Kyiv. What were they supposed to do to try and win this game and get back, or even just try and win some pride back, you know? Nothing at all. They never got tight. They never got close. Outthought, outfought, outworked as well. And I'm thinking, if you're a team like Dynamo Kyiv, the bare minimum you need to do is at least work hard and close down people. They never did that. We had so much freedom down the flanks throughout the entire game, and it was so funny the amount of times that wingers never followed runners. We were constantly able to play 1-2s, play in the half spaces. They had no solutions for that. We had so much time and space to do what we wanted to do. And I felt like, you know, today, the scoreline reflected our dominance. And one player that put in a dominant performance tonight was RUBEN. I remember at the start of the season, I kept saying that I want to see RUBEN playing as a number 8. People were making up excuses as to why Barkley deserved to play at the start. It was the same thing for Kovacic as well. People kept saying that he's better defensively. And back then I kept thinking, are people missing the point? We don't want our number 8 to be defensive. They need to provide something in the final thirds. And I think it's safe to say that, you know, under Kante, RUBEN is our best midfield player by a big distance in regards to the impact he provides when he plays. The team gets better. It's a galvanizing effect he has. And you know why the team gets better? It's because he picks the ball up in dangerous positions. Look how he plays. I love watching him. He's elegant. He's got the class and elegance with the ability as well, which is rare to have all three at once. I mean, you see him play. The ball's glued to his foot. He runs so elegantly. His head's constantly moving. He's analysing where to be, the space, etc, etc. It's why he makes things look so effortless. I mean, this guy got an assist today. He created the goal again for the second goal. Dominant performance, and it really was a textbook example in regards to, what we need from a number 8 playing in this system. RUBEN has that in abundance. I saw a funny tweet earlier where someone said that I wish that RUBEN had Barkley or Covers back. I kind of wish that too. You can see how he helps the team. And once this guy gets fully fit and he's playing league games, playing alongside Hazard, for example, we become that better. We break teams down more. We have that insurgency as well. RUBEN has it all, and I'm happy that he's succeeding. I've always known this guy's had the ability. So many of us have. We've seen him do his thing in the youth team. We've seen him do his thing in the youth team. We've seen how he performed for Crystal Palace last season as well. His quality's shining. He's 23. Lampard's right. It's time now that he does play. It's time now that he does get the opportunities. And it's time now that he succeeds at the club. I like Cover today. I mean, of course it was kind of easy because Dynamo Kyiv players weren't getting tight enough. But he kind of reminds me of like a variety in that sense. They're very good at, protecting the ball, their close control. And I thought that he started a lot of very good attacks as well. I thought Marcus Alonso, I mean, let's be serious. It was a good performance from him tonight. That cross into GIROUD was amazing. It really was. Of course, yeah, I tweeted earlier that, his 10,000th cross finally produces something with end products. But he still had to do his thing. I mean, yeah, it makes his life easier if, he has no attacking threat down the flanks and if, people aren't going to track his runs. But he had to execute all the freedom he was getting. And I think he did, very unlucky not to score from a free kick. It seemed like the perfect technique for the strike as well. He's got a very good shot, Marcus Alonso. But of course, even though, he performed today, that isn't me saying that he should be playing in the first team now. I think Emerson is better for the first team. I always think that Sarri would finally see that and understand that as the season went on. I like that Sarri is using Alonso in Europa League games and using Emerson in Premier League games. It's a very good thing to do, very good balance as well. But again, I'll sound a tiny bit cynical. We were playing against a really poor Dynamo Kyiv, and I kept thinking, wow, Kyiv are so poor, they're making Marcus Alonso look fast. And I think that really summed up our opposition today. I thought that Sarri made some good substitutions. It's good that Kante got a rest. He's been playing a lot of games recently. Hopefully Zappacosta isn't going to be out for too long. I thought that he was decent tonight. I thought that one thing we definitely don't lack when Zappacosta plays is that he does support the wide areas really quickly, and I think that really helps the wingers do their thing when you have a fullback that's willing to overlap and push forward. So I think that's why our wide play today was so good against Dynamo Kyiv. Both the fullbacks were stretching the play. I noticed that Alonso most times was obviously pushing out wides. A lot of times they hold the shape of the team and stretch Dynamo Kyiv. It was working a lot. But I do have to comment again, whenever Jorginho plays in his role, you just see the upgrade. Yeah, I think that cover has looked decent playing as a regista, but you see that this role is tailor-made for Jorginho because the play does become that much better. Of course, I thought that Christensen was good, and I'll be talking about the centre-backs in the 5 talking points video afterwards, so stay tuned for that. And of course, Sarri brought on Pedro, he took off Willian, and I'm going to end this match review by talking about the guy himself, Hudson-Odoi, getting an assist, getting a goal as well. He's doing he's doing amazing things right now. He's doing amazing things. I think that, yeah, he is the real deal. This guy is a world-class talent. I don't think there's any denying that right now. Of course, in the first half, he wasn't in the game as much. Most of the play was down the left-hand side, and the reason why it was down the left-hand side was because everything was going through RUBEN. So naturally, where RUBEN is, that's where the play is going to go through. But, Hudson-Odoi, when he had the opportunity to do something, he did that. When he made the goal for the goal right before the first half ended, great 1-2. He understood what he was going to do before he received the ball. And of course, as I was saying, as I tweeted earlier, I'm hoping that Hudson-Odoi is going to play on the left-hand side later on. I feel like it's a waste not to see RUBEN and him linking up. We did see that later on, and of course Hudson-Odoi stepped up even more. He got his goal, GIROUD, to get an assist, to get a hat-trick as well. One of his best games in a Chelsea shirt. Great pass to Hudson-Odoi. The weight of the ball was perfect. All Hudson-Odoi had to do was open his body up, bury it in the bottom corner, and he's just performing. Every time he's getting opportunities, he's doing something. And I think he's the first youngster who I've really seen profit from the real small minutes that he receives. You know, a lot of times, you know, he's not always blessed to get a game or half an hour, but even within that short frame of time, he's making something happen. He's affecting the play, he's scoring a goal. And I think when you keep doing that, a manager can't ignore you after a while. Yeah, I thought that no one was bad tonight. Willian was decent as well. But Hudson-Odoi, even though it wasn't even his best game, still provided more for the team, more impact. And you're thinking, you know, you've got Hudson-Odoi and Willian. Why isn't Willian the one getting the assist? Why isn't Willian the one getting the goal? You know what I mean? I think Hudson-Odoi is that guy. And we have to do all we can to keep him at the club. And I honestly think that in the future, and I'll be speaking about this in tomorrow's 5 talking points video, but I think we would be in safe hands if Hazard leaves and Hudson-Odoi stays. But you guys, thank you for watching today's match review. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Line CV. Signing out.